Good morning. We are coming to you today from the Klamath River RV Park in Klamath, California. We are kind of right in the heart of the Redwoods National Park and the state parks here in California. So just to give you a rundown of this campground, it's really a pretty beautiful campground. It's very simple, not tons of frills, but just very, very nice, a good location. We were in the to the Redwood National Park Visitor Center in about 20 minutes yesterday. There's a lot to see and do around here. The trees of mystery, have to do, so much fun. So we're about half an hour south of Crescent City under most circumstances. Right now they've got the road closed like 4 hours a day, so it's kind of difficult. But under most circumstances, we're pretty close to Crescent City. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the campground. The highlight of the campground is the fact that it sits right here along the Klamath River. This river goes then out to the Pacific Ocean. And this morning, it's kind of a foggy, drizzly day, and there's always a little bit of fog over this, but it still is just very, very beautiful. Now you can see that they have a row of campsites right there that basically face the river. You pay an extra $10 for one of these riverside campsites. If I were to do it again, I don't think I would pay the $10 for the riverside, because everything else is just another few feet away, and it's just as easy to walk down to the river. The campsites along here, as you'll see, are really, really good size. They're pretty long. However, right where that pole is, behind our camper, is a dividing line between two campsites front and back. We are here in April. And as you can see, there's not very many people here. So right now, we're very, very spread out. And even though the campsites are good size, you start putting 4 campers into this space right here, I think it probably would be pretty close together if the place is full. But still not too bad. As you see, the bathhouse, very nice, very clean. I was rather impressed with the laundry room. Nice, fairly new machines. Some of them, new dryers anyway. They have a really, really clean table, big table there to fold laundry. When you're living in your RV, that's pretty important. Getting to this campsite is pretty easy. It's right off of the 101. As you turn into the property, you do have to make a pretty sharp hairpin turn to get down in here, but we have a 40-foot fifth wheel and we made it with no problem. So you just make a wide turn. When we pulled up to the site, it was super easy to get through, just to pull through in the grass, and everything was level. We didn't have to level anything out. It was pretty easy to get into. So overall, I give the campground a super high rating. Their Wi-Fi is a pretty big source of pride here. He has taken a lot of time, probably a lot of money, to put in really good Wi-Fi repeaters throughout the campground. There's actually 4 Wi-Fis that you can grab onto while you're here. And it works really well. I've been able to work here. The only downside is that even though you have great Wi-Fi, terrible cell signal. Now, I don't obviously hold that against the campground. This has nothing to do with them. This is just for your information. If you're more cellular dependent, Verizon doesn't have a very good signal here. I usually had to leave my camper, go down by the river to talk on the phone. But if you're Wi-Fi dependent, it's a great place to be, because we were able to get really good Wi-Fi here. As far as the overall value, I think that it's pretty good. Again, I think that charging the extra $10 for the riverside, I think is a legitimate thing during the summer when people are fighting for that. But with the Good Sam discount, it was $55 a night here, plus $10 for the riverside. Again, I wouldn't do that if I came back. However, you have the laundry, you have a pretty decent playground, and you have really good Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is something I'm willing to pay extra for. So especially in California, I think $55 is a really good value. Again, that's with the Good Sam discount, so I'm not 100% sure how much it costs without the Good Sam discount. Down by the river, there's also a hiking trail that takes you off into the woods. I honestly don't know exactly where it goes, so I walked for about probably a quarter mile into the woods and turned around. Don't know where it goes, but if you want to explore, there's some good exploring here. Nearby, as I said, the Trees of Mystery is a great place to go. If you want to go out to eat, there's a couple of diners, but there's really not a whole lot else, in this immediate area. You're going to drive 20 or 30 minutes to get any kind of restaurants or stores or anything like that. Both the owner of the campground and the campground host were incredibly friendly, very, very helpful when we arrived, and gave us a map that we needed and showed us things that were around, and just really willing to answer questions. It was very friendly and fun to talk to. So it's also really great people here. So I'm going to show you just a little video of kind of around the campground. Again, like I said, today is a really foggy, kind of overcast morning. But with beautiful blue skies that we've had the last couple days, it really is pretty gorgeous. Even the fog, I think, is pretty.